Today we are in luck because we are going to go over wind conditions, how to find it, where to look, what I'm looking for. Today we're going to break it down so that you can always be in the right conditions at your location. Let's go.
We're in luck today.
There it is. Thank you guys so much. We have the legend. He's helping us out today. We thank you guys. We love you guys. We hope that you're learning. We hope this is helping you. We're here. Gwen is behind the camera making this happen. We have again Harry Andrews, the legend, the one and only, the myth, the man behind it all. We're so lucky to have him, my dear friend Harry. Today we're going to break down a very important tip that not a lot of people talk about. There's a lot of tips and tricks, and that is wind conditions. How do I find it? What am I looking for? What apps? What do I use? How do I break it down? What am I going to do to pick to have a great day? What am I looking for? So I want to ask Harry, when you wake up at 3:30 in the morning and you're drinking Java and you text me, and I've been up for 2 hours and we're drinking Java and we're talking and we're ready to play, what are we looking at? What are you looking for?
Well, first of all, what he said is almost close to the truth about the times. That's pretty close, actually. Yes, and we do get in the morning, same thing. Yeah, we look at the time, and first thing I do, I'm drinking my coffee, and
I'll kiss your wife and say I love you.
My wife's there making coffee for me. She's so sweet. First thing, weather. That is the very first bookmark I have on my computer. That's the truth too. And okay. I look at it, and what I do, well, wind forecast on iKitesurf. I look at that right away. And that'll tell me the wind's coming in today at 12, it's going to blow till 6 o'clock, then it starts going offshore. And anytime before 12, you can watch it. It'll be light, but it'll start building. And so I usually don't want to go out when it's too light because I'll use all my energy on light wind, which just takes it all out of you. So I'll wait till I know it's going to get to that 20-mile-an-hour zone because it's forecasted, and that's when I'll go out. But I look at the wind forecast, then I go to Surfline, and I look at the webcams. And Jupiter, I look at the one that's on top of the condos there, and I look at the swell. And it's like, because every once in a while, sneaker swell comes in. You don't even know about it. You wake up in the morning, and I just about dropped my coffee. I go, oh my gosh, look at the swell. Where'd this come from? Wasn't even forecasted. But I look at the swell. I look at 3 or 4 different webcams.
Yep.
Also, I look up local weather of when it's going to rain today, if it's going to rain. And that plays a major part. If it says thunderstorms or if it says just rain, 2 big deals. Thunderstorms, I don't like going out in. Yeah. Rain, I'm wet already, we're going to have a blast. Especially on a wing, it doesn't matter. Your wing's always wet. So it's like, and you're always wet. You're going to have fun no matter what it is. Go ahead.
I think, so what Harry's saying is absolutely spot on. First off, if you haven't downloaded iKitesurf app. No joke. That is the best app for any kiter, winger, you name it. Shows great conditions everywhere across the country. Now, what Harry said, which is brilliant. Look, wherever you are located, Texas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Ohio, it doesn't matter. Look at, one thing I look at, marine forecast. Marine forecast over natural weather. Marine forecast will give you what's happening on the water. It's kind of helpful. Different forecasts, usually marine forecast. Definitely, I look at webcams. That's super awesome point is look for webcams anywhere there's water, wherever it could be, because if you can visually see maybe there's some white caps, that sensors may not be reading, it's actually windy, you can go. Weather, make sure to download those apps, but I would say first thing I would always look at is iKitesurf is my go-to right away. Definitely webcams because you can actually see visibly what's happening. If conditions are changing, I always look at what fronts are moving across the country. So is a front line coming or storms coming? Because that's going to change things. Like Harry said, you don't want to be riding in lightning or thunder or something that potentially could be dangerous. But I would say let's break it down even more to somebody who's maybe new to this sport. And I would say, look, you can ride conditions. Ideally, let's just say for kiting and for winging, ideal condition would be side shore to whatever you're riding, lake, intercoastal, ocean. Side shore meaning I can go out, I can come back to the land, but I can go downwind and I can walk back up, but I can go out and I can come back. Now, if it's straight on shore, makes those conditions harder because the wind's blowing me onto the shore. So for anybody out there that's learning, onshore conditions are going to be harder. Straight offshore conditions, I would say for kiting, for sure you got to be super advanced or you're going to be swimming back to home. It's not recommended. Now, I say that within reason because a lot of places you actually do kite offshore. But I would say speak to your local shops, speak to your local kiters, wingers, talk to them, find out those local conditions. That's going to help you out a ton because they'll share their knowledge just like we're trying to share our knowledge with you guys in those local areas. That'll help you the most. The other one is, what winds are we looking for? I think 0 to 7, drink a coffee, fly a little one-line kite. I think 7, I would say honestly, experienced. Let's just call it 10. Now, when we say 10, is it 10 miles per hour or is it knots? There's a difference. Knots is more, miles per hour is less. So make sure you know what you're looking. I would say in general, everybody, I would say 12 knots to 20 knots is lighter winds, easy, mellow. 20 knots to 50 knots is extreme. Maybe not 20. Let's go 30 knots and up is extreme. Harry only likes it when it's like 40 to 50 knots because that's when he goes the biggest. But in general, I would say if you're learning this sport, learning kiting, learning winging, I would say 12 to 15 to call it 25, money zone, safe zone, good learning zone, and
yeah, without a doubt. And then you'll know, in your mind when you have 4 wings, you'll have a 3, 4, 5, and a 6. Those are the 4 wings I have. And you go, why do you need? You don't need all those. But I don't ride with a harness, so I like to have the right wing in my hands and have a lot of pressure on it. So I know that a 3 is 30 miles an hour plus.
Yep.
And I know that my 4 is like 31 down to 26. And sometimes I can go 23, let's say. Now that's for me. A 5, I'm on it at 17 to 24, 25. My 6, 12 on up. Anything but, when I say 12, I can't go unless it's gusting 16 to 17. 12 is your normal number and you're gusting up to 16, 17.
Yeah.
Now there are other guys who really can go in a lot lower, and I think you get efficient as time goes on.
Now, a good point right here is Harry's talking miles per hour.
Right, it's always miles per hour.
And
That's
so
mine
12
That's right.
miles per hour in knots would be more towards sort of 10-ish.
Yeah.
So just so you kind of get an idea, you want to know wherever country you are, there's many different wind gauges or however you want to say it. I would just say in general, the threshold is going to be under 10 is very light. And then I would say 15 to 25 is magic. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
But look, do your research. Talk to your shops, talk to your surf shops, talk to your kite shops, talk to your people on the beach. Ask them what they use. I am telling you, iKitesurf app, hands down, it's in my phone right now. Harry's actually got my phone, but it's awesome app. It shows right away, you can see wind conditions, you can see what it did yesterday.
You got a weather alert right now.
Yes,
it says the wind's picking
exactly.
up. I mean,
that's
what iKitesurf tells you all the time. I know, right? One other thing too I was going to throw in, when we were talking about webcams, I'll tell you one other thing I look for, and it's kind of important, especially in winging, is I look for seaweed.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And in that way I'll know, because if we have an east wind, it blows in the seaweed from the Gulf Stream here on our coast. If you have a south wind, it keeps the seaweed off the coast here. So if it's first a lot of seaweed, I'll wait and see if it's going to switch more south later in the day before I go. So it's just like little tips, you know. I mean, and then if it's not, well, then I get out the twin tip and then the foil kite.
Now, one thing we can cover is gustiness or storms. Look, if you see a front line coming, gnarly, purple, red, there's tornado warnings and stuff, probably not ideal to go out and try to have your first day winging.
No.
Look for good conditions. Everybody has it in kiting, usually a scare, which we all hope not to have it, but you're gonna have it, I promise you. And all I would say is those scares usually happen on some of the most perfect days. So just be aware, make sure you know your weather, know what's coming, okay, that's a black cloud. I know black cloud's probably not a good thing, so I probably shouldn't stay up, or I should probably land my kite. With winging, it's a little different. You can just set the wing down, so it's a little different, but I definitely don't want to be out there in lightning. So these are some of the things that Harry or myself do. Please leave your comments and help other people on maybe what you use or what's your proper way of going about it. And we can hopefully share more information to help people know how to find the best conditions for their place or in those areas. So But definitely talk to your local shops and friends, and Harry's cell phone number will be in the comments. You can call him personally. He'll give you the forecast at 4:30 in the morning.
Hey, why don't you put, what's a good idea? Why don't you put the little links to some of these apps on the bottom?
That's good. We'll put the links up.
Yeah.
That's great. See, he's so far ahead of it. That's actually Gwen. Gwen's over there. Like, look, he's throwing a fit over there because he's got to do more work.
Oh my gosh,
You see that?
I know, yeah. No.
Okay, so we're gonna end on this note. Hopefully this helps you guys. You know, our goal here was to give you some information on what we use to properly ride safely and enjoy these days that we enjoyed to the maximum. I want to leave on this note. Look, we all go through hard times, and what's helped me, many people don't know this, I went through depression, struggled it for many parts of my life, and I would say my way of overcoming it was being positive, finding the good in any bad. And I would say a lot of people are afraid to say they're maybe struggling or they're going through something, and I'm not afraid to say, look, with surrounding yourself with good people and making sure that you always strive to look at the positive in something, it will change your life 100%. And whether it's depression, whether it's alcohol, whether it's, you name it, you can change it, but it's going to come down to you. You can take therapy, you can hear everything from everybody, but it's still going to be you who's going to change it. And for me, it was finding positivity, it was looking at the positive, and now I have a 2-month-old who's just blowing my life up. But I would say at 3:30 in the morning, I wasn't drinking Java, I was changing diapers, and I love it. And man, do I have a wonderful wife and kid, and I'm so blessed. So look, whatever you're going through, reach out. You can do this. You can fix it. You will fix it. You will get past it, and you will live the best life of 2021, hands down. Harry, what do you have to tell them?
I can tell you everything you just said is so correct.
It
is. It's right. If things seem so bad today, but tomorrow's gonna be a lot less, and 30 days now you won't even remember what you're thinking about.
Yeah, and look at some of the things you've done in life, right? Look at some of the worst experiences you've had in life. Look, they're bad. Yep. If you just get past it, better things can happen. Just keep looking at the positive. Look, if your car breaks down tomorrow, it drove you for 3 days maybe. Great. Those 3 days were great. But you know what? Now it's broken down. We'll get past it. Hopefully I can fix it. Game on. Always look at the positive. On that note, until next week, we love you guys. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe. Pass it on to your friends and family. Next video coming is, we're not sure. Thank you, Harry.
Thanks, Davo.